I missed the analysis this morning and got rocked. No, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I was waiting for everybody to show up. If you are live or obviously listening right now, we are heading towards the lows yet again. I am still holding my uh, and I do not have obviously today's contracts, or those would be absolutely cooked. Now, if you're playing with them now, I could understand. Tension is getting high. Uh, I expect for price to be moving here either overnight or possibly as we near the end of the day. So we have a first target underneath us at $600.70. And underneath that, if we can clear it, it would be 618 that we could see price retrace down to. Anything under that would be 599.50, but I again am unsure as we near the end of the day. I don't see price on this side. Oh, okay. Thank you. Can you see it now? Jesus Christ, man. I don't know why people keep coming to my stream begging. I mean, I get it. I don't get it. All right. Some real chop slop today. Yes. Call that the Goy blender. But no, this was and again, this morning we talked about today being watching, mostly watching to see how price responded to areas that we felt inevitably were going to be retested, and they were, right? And we have continued to hold down. No buying pressure has lifted us up. I still feel very bearish. I mentioned earlier that again, with I feel like there's news they're going to use some headline here in the next day or two to possibly get this price up and again to keep it and until that break happens. Again, we have the 599.75 that we're looking for, but we still have room up to 614.50. So that triggers 605.91. So, but yeah, we literally opened up basically in between two signals again, and it was kind of cool to see because a lot of and some of you guys, man, can't believe. I mean, I can, and not to harp on you, but if you stuck your finger in the blender multiple times today, you need to zoom out, and you got to have some impulsive control because I was thinking about this earlier while the market was not moving. And if you had, let's say, $1,000 and you found 10 24-hour, that's again, I'm, just throwing this out here, but this is not something that you would actually do. But if you found 10 setups that were Potter Box 24-hour breaks of range into empty space, Celsius, Dow, Schwab, like any of those, Mara, in any of those examples that I go back to and show you, and you were to place $100 in each of them, again, assuming they were all low risk, high reward, target based contracts, one of them, one of those trades, right, is damn near guaranteed to hit. And that's being ungenerous. That's going on the super low end because we know that when we see the setups that the clear empty space boxes, those are the setups that we want to focus on, and that's not the setup that we have right now. There's triggers in front of us, but getting trapped in these lower time frames, trying to change your life in these small mediocre moves, when you could again, and that would still be kind of risky to place $100 in 10 different, but if they were solid 24-hour setups, one of those trades would I mean, you would make it more than $1,000, if one of those trades held to point A to point B. But that being said, if you're going to be if you're going to be throwing money at the market, at least throw it at something that makes sense. You know what I mean? Be impulsive. If you're going to be impulsive, burn yourself on something that has a high probability. So anyway, Let's again, as we move into the end of the day here, let's obviously watch the cues and see how we respond to this floor. This is ultra super duper important to me to see how price responds here, because we have already visited it 3 times, fourth time. And so if we do break through these lows, we got a couple of price targets that we're looking to potentially break. Again, there's a lot of heat in front of us, but a news candle right now would be amazing. Channel possibly still in play. So maybe if we do get a dump, I have a target potentially, if this was to work out, of 598.42 and maybe that 597.51 if you are throwing something in there. All right. That's something I have an issue with and currently just watching until I have conviction. What, getting into those lower time frame trades? That, like, if you traded today, again, that, and I know that some dorks on the internet will be like, oh, I caught a bounce and I'm a scalper. Like, cool, that doesn't apply to 99% of you. So, all right, now moving on. We're gonna move the cues over here to the right screen. If you're on TikTok, you can go there to YouTube to see this, but we're gonna keep watch here as we move into the end of the day to see whether we hold this low or break it. SPY, obviously, basically an identical setup, which they do run together, but it's not always identical, right? And so the fact that they are moving in tandem, it always gets my fucking brain cogs turning. Because this is the type of energy where we do something all at once. And of course, you could probably imagine what that might be. That being said, again, as we move here into the end of the day, we have secured a rejection on those overhead sell levels, right? That's 686.20, and price has remained as we go to the end of the day below that 683.95 floor. The pressure is on. However, sellers need to get something done relatively soon, or their efforts can be used as fuel to reverse. Now, I like their charisma and spunk, as they have, again, kept us underneath those buy floors. But by the end of the day, I'd like to see them express themselves and possibly give us that break of 681.50. Target would be 679.88. And of course, that is pretty much well in confluence with that channel bottom. We also have a 679.15. So I'll mark those out for you. And again, this is, we haven't done it yet. Am I using Coinbase to day trade? Absolutely not. If you're on TikTok, be sure to tap your screen. Appreciate you. All right, now IWM, come on, Qs. And again, I am positioned with a short today. As the one I grabbed yesterday, still looking for the bigger move, but weeklies do seem tempting right now. 1 second. So 6 cents, 13 cents, excuse me. Okay. Sorry, just looking at the cues right now. All right. We do have a pocket of empty space directly up above us, above 601.64. You'll see a retest up there. Right now, you can see the fight for the floor happening on that 5-minute time frame, and that wick. So let's see what happens here. All right, IWM, moving on. Yeah. Are you using? Yeah, no, I'm not. All right, now, what does today's candle tell me? Absolutely nothing. The only thing that I can derive from this chart, if it closes the way it is we're still underneath that sell level. We also could chalk up what happened today as another rejection at that overhead 264.30. However, sellers were unable to drive price underneath that 261.80 floor. We know that if they do, we would have a pretty sweet target of 259.19 and the floor 258.95. Same thing. Now, again, all day sellers have held their ground. And if news does come out overnight, I am speculating. I think this is the position to potentially do so. On some low risk, high reward floor and 257.40. If you, again, a lot of these positions, when you speculate, if you can see, this is something that we have that other people don't, right? Is those of you who, again, did not stick your fingers in the blender today and have impulse control and know their risk. You could look at, as we move towards the end of the day, a potential move down to that 259. I think 257 would obviously be a possibility as well. If you want to add some expiration on that, you could use shorter expiration contracts going into tomorrow to hedge. The bigger move is coming though, and let me just reverse and sit back and, this is what we are in, and so any position taken within this box, within this range, again, no guarantees, and there isn't anything on the 24-hour that is remotely recognizable when it comes to my strategy other than what we can identify on the lower time frames. So be sure you are abiding by your risk if you do, or you are taking part. And if you are hedging, I would be looking at a 268 hedge. Because if you pop over the top here at 260, period, you pop over the top here at 264.28, yeah, we're going to see a rejection. So, or not a rejection, excuse me. But when you say we can make 500% on options, are you referring to the overall P&L, like your account? I mean, we have people whose accounts are up over 500%. But I'm talking about the actual specific trades that I take. I average most, if any trade that I take that goes into profit. The last time I got 100% contract was because I had a short or a longer expiration trade on the Qs, and I did that for obviously my own protection. I was also sick, but he's gonna make you lose all your money guaranteed. Oh, we got another one. You trade stocks and play Xbox. Okay, so you are not good at what you do, and you're projecting on me to make yourself feel better about the
Why?
constant failure
Why
that.
though?
No, I don't know.
Why?
Yeah,
Why
listen,
would
listen,
come
listen,
somebody
listen,
waste their fucking time?
listen. Breathe, because I've been dealing with this for years, and now it's fun. I enjoy it. I really do. I don't know why. Maybe I'm toxic too, but maybe I've got a weird kink, but I like it because I
Fair
got, you
enough.
know what,
Fair enough.
you know what it is like if I had cracks in my fucking story, if this strategy didn't work, I would feel insecure about it and they would trigger me, but I don't, because I have now obviously not only proof myself but proof in people, and what I say I do this, and I have done that, and doing it currently.
Why would somebody give all that negativity? That's all. It just
It's
drives
in
me
their
crazy.
it's in
Hey,
their
It's
hey,
heart,
like
hey,
man.
who
It's
the
hey,
it's
hell's
it's a
hey,
going?
it's
hey,
always
guys,
a
guys, guys. Let's not use our energy on it. Let's move on.
That's true. That's true.
anyway.
Exactly. Let's get to this money.
Unless, no, I'm
Uh,
kidding.
introduce him to the Goy blender. Oh my god, that's funny. All right, so anyway, IWM, QQQ, Spy, you guys feel me? We don't have anything for sure. We are going into Friday. Contracts are bleeding, and today made them really cheap. So if you would like to speculate on any of the three and the targets that I've provided for you, if you were not here to watch this, um, go on YouTube and watch it back on the live. Do I recommend ODTE or you stay away? If the setup is clear, then I will take it, but most new traders should not touch shorter expiration contracts. The temptation is they're cheaper, right? But you can find a middle ground. But they're cheaper, and they see us posting high percentages off of those, but those are also, um, it takes a certain level of skill and time and experience to achieve the ability to see these things happening in real time. Your YouTube is like a jackpot. Hell yeah, brother. Um, Yeah. All right. So IWM, QQQ, SPY, you guys got the picture. You can see the overhead. I mean, today, let's just talk about this, right? On IWM, we have this upwards trend. And this is, yeah, where we could have or should have kind of seen a rip and bounce. So the fact that we were held down, the tension is there. So just be ready tomorrow to potentially take a trade on this one. So, all right, all three of them. All right, now individual equities. Today Microsoft waked up, almost got in, and hopefully any of you who are in were able to get out of this one. I did exit yesterday before the ass whooping ensued, but this one did shoot up, touch the top before closing a candle back underneath cost basis and is now on its way down. I'm kind of taking a page out of this book, right? Because if Microsoft is falling, if other individual equity, oh god damn boy, oh my god, damn, I could just sell charts, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, anywhere under 260, and you got that channel bounce. You got a target right here, which is in confluence with the bottom of that channel. Man, I tell you what, it's falling in a way that a reversal on Apple, whenever the time. See, I'll trade that, and I don't even fucking like Apple. I'll trade that. That's money. Not yet, but sometime soon. All right. I'll tell you what. Who is Alex Trades? What's the beef? We'll talk about that later. It's just for fun for me, but got a little darkness inside. All right, if you have anything you would like for me to take a look at, go ahead and drop. Yeah, I think IWM, if you look at IWM, Jesse, that's a good point. The tariff ruling is right around the corner. So, yeah. All right. Just finished the workshop. My charting has definitely improved. Russ, let's go. Make sure to write down those questions. You got a fresh yes, I do, John. We got a fresh class coming on March 1st. All right. What do we got here? TEM, Tempest AI, which is heading up here. Nice recovery today. Nice break, right? Two nice bounces, a break over the high here. Let's go to the 4-hour. What's in front of you? You have this box right here. It looks like you've got the strength to pop the top off that fucker and head to 62.74. Do watch the wick at 61.85. That would be the first target. Second target would be 62.83. All right, 82. Sorry, that looks good. War. I'm assuming because you think, yeah, because war is coming. This is going to be incredibly tough to chart because it lacks basic fucking liquidity. And not to say that that couldn't one day happen, right? Especially being in America. But with that being said, brother, I don't know how much I could help you with just a big ass red bar in front of me. I'd have a yeah. Yeah, that one is going to be hard to spot. So Elf, yes, Elf, still good. It did dip. I did have to reduce my risk. However, that floor, I told you guys I was looking for a buy. I did load back up on Elf equity, but I am currently looking for a break and candle close over 91.64. And at that point, I think I might go add a little bit more. Well, add here. I want a candle close outside of that, John. That's what I'm waiting for now. We got too much empty space underneath us to same thing here, right? Like I wanted to add inside of the box rather than, as we ripped outside of it. So would it be worth taking a lotto on QQQ? I have a little lotto right now, my friend. I have a little lotto-licious. I'm not exactly sure if we're gonna get it because well, you know what? We have what? What are we on a spirit journey right now? Someone's going crazy on the flute. Not right now. All right. Anyway, um, I right now on the 5 minute, if you look at what's above you, or even the 3 minute, I think at the moment we're looking at a pop up and retest of 602.16. And honestly, guys, again, you have to, if you are, looking to the upside, or if you're bullish, 602.75 would be a trigger where this could start setting up to reverse. But right now, I'm I already have those, and I'm not adding until we get a break of this floor, which seems unlikely right now with the build that we have underneath us. So, all right, let's see here. What about Tesla? What in the hell, dude? Wow, Tesla is a mess, y'all.
Chart looks like birthday candle.
It, when I look at this, it just sees selling every time that you're given the opportunity to buy. Every time. And lower time frame setup, for tomorrow, or even, if we see a squeeze out today, you have a punch up right here to 412 or 413 possibly, but, or actually, sorry, 411, 412, sorry, 412.88, but oh yeah, wow. You got a gap up there, you have empty space. You know what? Tesla, I mean, maybe in the next couple of days, if we see a that could be juicy. I might have to set an alert on that one if we do break to or see a rip to the upside. Oh, I would love to short given the opportunity, I would absolutely. Oh my God, I would love to. I would love to short Tesla to the floor. It is going to. Listen, I can say this with the utmost certainty. This will get hit. It will. If fucking as sure as I am, the fucking sun is yellow. All right. $200 calls with what expiration? Calls? I mean, I just think in price action, like normal price action, uh oh, what did I just find? You need a motherfucking catalyst. And it's 436, and then you could go and see a high. But boy, block that guy. All right, let's see what else do we got. Lift to the upside. I don't know if I really like this dance music. I feel like I'm not on the right substances. All right, there we go. And there's the cues going and touching that move, that floor to the upside on the 5 minute. All right, so for lift, and I'm watching the cues right now. So there's that retest. That's why I said wait. Fuck just pulled up to my house. Somebody's pulling up. I might have to get up here in a second. Oh, yeah, somebody's coming to my house. Hold on one second. Delivery. Sometimes I want somebody to do my yard. I don't want to do. What's up, buddy? I don't know if it is, but yeah, knock out that homework. Get your homework done first, and then you can do what you want. Sorry. It's me. I'm here to double dash you. Not again. All right. Be patient on the cues, please, guys. And those of you who are in my Discord, you hurt me physically every time you take bad trades inside of tiny ranges. I feel it. Like physically, it hurts me. I'm like, I almost fell up the stairs earlier because of what Nemo was doing. That's right, Nemo. You almost killed me, dude. Can't believe it. Yeah, yeah. The Goy Lopez, Jose. I got a knee cramp, dude, when I was trying to get off the pot, man. Yeah, dude, it hurt. Just think about that. Every time that you take a bad trade, you're hurting me. All right. So we're looking at a punchback on lift over 1420. A candle close outside of 1444 would confirm that that punchback is likely to occur. And yes, you would be targeting that first wick. And obviously there's a lot of empty space up here. Now I do want to point out one other thing, right? Is you have that same empty space underneath you. And if you really want to have the juice to get through that empty space all the way, it'd be nice to see that. So I'll fall down the stairs later for you. Awesome. Love that. No, just watch the cues, guys. Be patient. You know, like whatever you feel, zoom out. I know I'm on 3 minute right now, but zoom out. When you look at the 30 minutes, like, what are you thinking? You're trading in the tiniest box on earth. I got 80% on IWM calls this morning. Oh, you must have been scalping then. Jesus Christ. Still, like for most people that are new, to the system or just new to trading, it might work a couple times, but you got to make sure you're fire with it. All right, MOH up. How can you tell if a stock is in a range day or a trend? By where it opens. If it opens in between two structures, that is a very clear signal that it's likely. So that is a chop. I have a whole rule book around that, about where opens happen, stuff like that. So, okay, so let's do this. Since you just went straight for the bounce, I think it would be here. Let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah, we'll leave the 4-hour there. So I would say right now with this candle close, you could be looking at that 153.85. However, this previous resistance of 153 would be a priority. It was sure tough to hold. Oh, dude, you got brass ones if you held that. Your advice on waiting till a loss of 600 on a QQQ to get that to the downside? And look at ICE stock. Up? ICE stock. The fuck is that? So what are you saying? I'm not a good trader, but a damn good marketer. I'm a great trader, but I'm a shitty marketer. Be talking shit all over my marketing. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure if is that actual stock. but your advice is waiting till a loss of 600 on QQQ to get that down. I would like to see a loss of $600.80 to get this thing started. Yes, in the right direction. I think that move is coming. If again, and we're watching right now on the lower time frames as it's retesting the same structure, killing all of the empty space above, and driving price. And we don't have resolve on whether or not we're going to continue moving down. That would happen with a candle close back down underneath 60150. So we got a lot of work to do. Not to mention the 60114. Inbox me your Cash App. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Whew. See that? Mantras. All right. What else do we got? I know I had to stop myself. Planet Labs. Okay, I can only give you a target of 25.22 on the 24-hour time frame, and that is it. From there, you are dealing with old boxes. So again, you have to look at the first candle to your left, which is technically here at 25.75. So that would be the target to the upside. You could also look at this. I believe we tracked a channel on this before. That might be dead. Yeah, I don't know how much I would apply that, but I mean, it does look decent. It just, the opportunity in front of you is if you're looking for anything past or beyond that, like up into this 2760, you might need a good expiration on that one. So, all right, ICE, Intercontinental Exchange. Tasting quite right. Um, hmm. So it doesn't look like. So it definitely has volatility. This thing does move. And I don't see that volatility now. And and I'm again just being honest here, I do not see the structure that I'm familiar with. Um, this right here could be the beginning of a range to build. Um, but I feel like any analysis I give on the higher time frame just isn't gonna hit. However, the lower time frame I think makes more sense with at least some channel work and candle closes like here, which you're sitting on top of now. So I would probably be on this lower time frame. I'm on YouTube, so you can go look back at whatever analysis I've already done. Gold. I just talked to Manny about we said this a couple yeah, basically for a couple of weeks now, but I mean one of the things that we talked about was after any move, especially the one that you just saw, you're gonna see some extreme sideways action. And if you look at the weekly, that's exactly what is happening. If you look at the 24-hour time frame, it's that overhead that is just plain and simple 260 or 467.35, which is the guard for price to keep from going up. So obviously right now with price sitting underneath the box that does guard it, I cannot call for any sort of upside until you achieve that and you are over 263.83, and at that point you could look at a potential gap fill. I believe that this range could be the range for the next fucking year. I mean, you go again, look at one of these massive pullbacks and you sit in here. I mean, you do get upwards movement, price is tradable. But yeah, after any big move, you're gonna see range. And oftentimes, again, the bigger the move, the wider the range. What we're seeing now. All right, dome. Not a big fan of that. You guys are gonna be the hardest charts on planet Earth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Testing me. I mean, that's 3 rejections off the top. I guess that's not the bottom, is it? That wasn't, yeah, that wasn't the bottom. But at this point, with you crossing the median, it looks like you're headed to 3.17, I guess. If I'm even looking at the right one, this looks like some fucking. Oh yeah, this is not the right one. Crypto? Oh, come on, man. I do not see one gold chain on you. What do you know about gold? I'm wearing at least a couple $1,000 in gold right now. But I don't like necklaces. They irritate my neck. I've never been a necklace dude. Yeah.
Is that a watch you got?
No, I'm not a watch guy either. I've never understood watches. This is just a diamond and emerald bracelet, canary diamonds and emeralds. And 14, or I think it's 18, it might be 14 karat gold. This one, that one's got crushed emeralds on the inside of and amethyst on the inside of this ring, but that's 18 karat gold, which you can see there. Ivy, stop. Yeah, the bracelet is fire. I think it's got chicken blood on it, but I got it from Manny. I bought it from him. Anyway, all right, let's look at the real stock here. There's something about necklaces that make me feel like somebody's gonna yank me. I don't know. Maybe I've got paranoia, but like I that and the irritation on my neck, I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I'm autistic. Blue owl down. Blue owl. Blue owl down. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not really into taking things that have fallen this much. Not to say that it can't keep falling. However, this is a mostly weekly chart. And where are you in said chart? You are. I mean, okay, so I could give you a target of 1041 with a candle secured underneath 1192 by tomorrow. But that's your range, which is perfectly split by 1197. All right, I used to wear it, but let my friend borrow mine and never got it back. Damn, dude, I'd be committing a home invasion. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yes, that actually, I mean, again, damn. The fact that you held up, I mean, that's impressive. I still think you could possibly take it possibly tomorrow. I mean, depends on how this candle closes. If you start to break out here by the end of the day, yeah, I would be happy to take that up to 186. That's a good setup. You got to follow just for that comment? Oh yeah. I know it spikes your blood sugar, but damn, orange juice is good. All right, what else? mRNA. Oops. Dow to 4,200. Don't tell Pam Bondi that, dude. What's happening? Okay, that's what's happening. Your journey, the journey, interesting. So this was an important floor. So literally this small, and we're going to call it a range on the weekly, is probably a box. Look at that. Money. All right, let's look at it. Is it a box? Hot diggity damn. All right. So obviously it's ripping right now, right? I have, again, typically in these situations. I'm going and I'm looking for what needs to be held. That is clear as shit, which is 46.50. So you are just quite simply looking for a break over 50.50, and you're looking to stab that 43.18. And honestly, with the way that you're ripping and the lack of a box up there, you better have this have had better have good volume or a catalyst. So I'm trolling. You just tag yourself. KDP. It sat today, and I let it sit on that or go and hit that 28.85. It's listen, if you want to get out and get back in, I say that's totally okay. 48.41 or 29.41 is the 24-hour candle, and I don't think that's something. This is Dr. Pepper. You know, if you are looking at it for earnings, which is that's not today, is it? Yeah, that's next Tuesday. If you are looking at it for earnings, yes, I am holding my position for that 31.70 directly to the upside, which I think it might be pausing for. Otherwise, if you are looking at a hedge of any sort of or of any kind, $28 for a shorter expiration contract. All right. Bro, I was so lost without you. Pause this morning. That's funny. I mean, I wish you guys. I mean, I probably could have just stayed on live because I know a lot of people did get caught, but boy, we spotted the chop, and we didn't. I did not take a single trade today, on the Qs or any ETF because I was like, yeah, we're stuck, and I think it was like 10:30. I was like, yep, I'll see you guys at 2:30. So. All right. Let's see here. I'm trying to go through these requests. Let me know which direction. What I'm not going to take no request will be taken unless you let me know up or down which direction. Walmart puts. Ooh, okay. So a little spike up today. Failed. No, you didn't fail. You just ran out of gas. You hit the floor and you did reverse. So where did you break out from to get here? 4-hour time frame reveals the candle close right here, and that's exactly what you're bouncing off of. Not so fast, right? Box here. That's what you had to punch through to get here. 125.13 and 124.75, and you could take this back down to the floor. Now there is a nice chunky motherfucking bit of empty space down there. So, you know, that's something I would even be interested in, but I will warn you, without the floor being fully secured, and I mean, you are getting the downward pressure that you need now to at minimum retest underneath you. But over 120, listen, this is actually a kick-ass setup of, you know, win rather, not if, you know, if you bounce back up here, this is all empty. So it would be pretty easy to go and hit this overhead. And that's where this play really opens up. You've got a nice target right up in that 132.86, 80, 90, excuse me. I'm having trouble with numbers today, and 132. So XRP at 5 cents. Is it dead? Did it die? I don't keep track of it. No shit. No shit. I swear to God, I have not touched this chart. I have not charted XRP in fucking months. Right off the 50% mark. Nice. I think XRP goes all the no, XRP will go back down. I just don't see it going up right now, and even if I was wrong, right, it would be all the way at $1.08, 80 cents, excuse me, that you would see a reversal. It looks just like crypto, every other crypto does right now. So where's the massive move? I feel like I watched Chop all day. It's coming. Listen, between now and Tuesday, I am looking for a break of this tension. 4 days consecutively in a row, right, is the average cook time for the cues. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you go into a weekend, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is just like your average little sideways action, you know, not necessarily a box, but 1, 2, 3, 4. You get a bullshit move here, but you do break out. So yeah, this one's 5 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you get a weird candle here, and then a drive down. But the tension's coming. It's. I'm going to make a box or make a bag. Excuse me. A box bag. Our Potter boxes are always horizontal. You mean like this way? Well, they're not parallel, or up and down. So yeah, they're pretty much always horizontal because price is always horizontal. So now, if we're making money the long way, yes, the long way, money the long way.
The long way.
The long. I needed some entourage on that one. Thank you. This hole still worries me up here, but and now that we have, I'm trying to look at the cues right now, kind of just unbiasedly, really quickly. So I mean, like consolidation, trigger is up above. That would be the third time, right, from the floor. So if we're counting, right, 1, 2, 1, 2. So if we do get a reversal, right, it's all the way. I think it's a rip ass. But if we drive price down that floor, right, that'd be the third time there, and that's where we get that break. But okay, what is this bad boy right here? So again, price always trades box to box regardless of what the hell it is. But off of this bounce, the first target be 150. In order to see any more upside movement up to 187, it would be 150. I said the same with SPY. Look at the triple bottom on SPY. I don't see equal bottoms. Again, I don't do double bottoms, or I don't take patterns into consideration except for maybe the inverse head and shoulders. Now that being said, you know, we are at my trigger, right? Like literally just sitting at it. But yeah, for me, I need equal lows in order to call something I wouldn't, but if I was, that, you know, I would need to see equal bottoms. So I think we're traveling in this channel right now, and I'm just as curious as everybody in here on how we respond here, because if this is the bounce level, right? This is the floor that we have held, what we had to recover before. So if we drop into that, sheesh. But if we break over 686.55, sheesh, we got empty space and a target of 6, and that might be what we're winding up for, right? Maybe we bang down here, Friday closes dead, and then Monday we get that rip. But that's the thing about being in a massive 24-hour range. So on the 4-hour, oh, again, when I'm looking at reversal so remember this: a double bottom, inverse head and shoulders, or triple bottom are supposed to be at the lows, not at the highs. To me, those don't matter. Again, if I took those into consideration, it would be after a stock has fallen from its highs into a low. down here that I would consider that to be valid, I guess, if you will. How's Ramadan? Oh yeah. I forgot. Sorry. I did have a chicken, a crunchy fried chicken Caesar salad sandwich. And fuck, it was busting, dude. I ain't gonna lie. All right. They connect to all. Just FYI here, as we're moving into 3:30, Price has rejected that 602. So again, we still have a floor to lose, but I am on the fence, or not even on the fence. I am watching to see if we get a break here by the end of the day. Allah Akbar. Phone rang. Where's the Band-Aid? Band-Aid's gone, man.
APP time, APP.
Oh my God. Wick to wick on the 24-hour. Okay, so off of that channel is holding and you are building, which is good. This is what you want to do. Target overhead. Still going to be 421. Yeah, right there on that floor. It looks good. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to, but if it fails inside of the range that it's creating and you were to get a rejection here, I would very much predict a pullback to 391 and back down. Show us your emeralds again. Okay. There you go. I can't really. It's an awkward angle. Ugh. My mail's dirty. Hello. What's up, baby? Huh? They're right there. Yeah. Did he finish his homework? Good job, buddy. Sorry. Clipping that back on. How many sandwiches is that worth? Dude, I don't even want to tell you what I paid for that sandwich that I just told you about. I was deeply ashamed. I don't think anybody asked.
Brother, I paid $40 for a sandwich a couple of days ago.
Oh my God. I am married.
I don't think I would have said that out loud.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling well and I was hungry. And I was just like, whatever.
Interesting.
Oh, so you like DoorDash? It didn't cost 40 straight up.
Buster, you can use Cash App if you don't want to use that. Yeah.
It didn't cost me 40 straight up. It was like $25, $27, but with service charges and delivery and tip, it came to 40.
Huh?
Yeah, you paid for express service.
What? Oh.
That was regular. That wasn't even express.
No, I paid I don't have a preference, Buster. It's fine if you send that to me on Cash App. Obviously I don't get Stripe taxed, so but I don't really care. So real quick. Yeah, I paid $26 for the salad that I bought for Peyton today, but it came with chicken on top of it, like fried chicken that I added it to. All right, what else? Please drop your request. I want to make sure that I get everybody. We have 30 minutes left. It's kind of cool though. This week I have gotten the least amount of requests that I have gotten in months. But you know what I actually think is so badass about that is the setups have sucked balls. Excuse my language. I know I got to be more professional, but they have been awful. And so nobody's really, there are a couple setups, right, that people are asking about, but like I am glad that there's kind of a lull that is in tune with the market in general. So I just hope that's how you guys are trading. All right, in new corporation, cost basis, but you're dropping back down underneath. So again, this one is going to be still in range on the 4 hour, but the trigger to the downside, and we're going to actually cut this up because the 4 hour doesn't make sense. So you're looking for a 178.59 break. You are heading in the right direction right now for that. This could be the worst song on earth here. All right. Yeah, I got you. So anyway, with new sitting on the floor here, you still have a trigger underneath you. So this isn't a short play until that fires. At that point, you'd have a target of 174.65. So IWM, what are we doing? Erling. I feel like if I just threw $300 at both sides of this with a week out for like, maybe like 269 and 255, I'd probably make a back. I'm not gonna do that. Probably not. But yeah, the tension, and coinciding with the tariff decision, like we don't actually get this solid of tension and this clear of a range very often. It's been a while, right? But the moves that happen after that, that is all the, oh man, I'm so excited. You guys should be excited. And hopefully that helps you be patient. But I am actually really excited because I know this is the same rinse and repeat sideways candles explosion is coming, and IWM is one of the best at risk to reward and just overall return on investment, if you will. So Walmart, I just did that one on YouTube. If you want to check out YouTube, I've already done a lot of these requests. All right, let's see here. AMD to the upside. Oh my God. Damn. Oh, we're going to delete everything and start from scratch. So what's happening? So we have a floor here we've been fighting over. It looks like today you're able to squeak up just a little bit above that and build a box on the floor. Now, what's above you? We can already spot a range here. And I know that's a box, right? Of some sort. That's a minimum range, but definitely probably a box. 2 hour. Okay, starting to reveal the box-like qualities. Man, that is a pretty killer setup. But the range expands on the 2 hour. And let's count. 1, 2, 3 bounces off of the floor. Only 2 rejections and a gap fill at 207. The tension is there. AMD. Hold on, I think I see it. Do you see how every time I move, look right here, it's these channels are like fractal. You could literally, and I've taught this in some of the workshops, I could take this channel and I could clone it and I could throw it down here, and you can actually find lower time frame control this way. Watch this. And you can keep shrinking that down, watch, to like that little tiny channel here. That's why I tell you guys that channels are meant to be broken. They're meant to, because they're only pieces of what is overall trend. And people use like GAN fans to spot shit like this, but yeah, I'd rather do it myself. I have done IWM. I am watching QQQ and IWM. Listen, I'm going to say it again for everybody who's on TikTok and on YouTube. Every time that IWM goes sideways like this, it fucking rips, and that is just business as usual. Rips, right? We just need to be on the right side of the trade. Look, and this was at the lows, so you get a really, really big move. But 3 weeks of consecutive solid price action, and this is, oh man, if I had shoes on right now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's ridiculous. 1, 2, 3. They expand 1, 2, 3. So what the fuck? Honestly, it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? Like you're picking up pennies when in front of you along the path are $100 bills. Yeah. When am I gonna enter Lulu? When it tells me to? When it says, Potter, buy me, which is actually getting pretty close to getting to that point. We're sitting right up at the highs right now as we speak. But we did pull. Ooh, hold on. Why did I just say that and Pice just popped up? Hold on. Calm down. Why is the spread so terrible on that? PayPal? That's not a bad setup, actually. PayPal, actually, that looks. I fucking hate PayPal, but you're looking for a 4-hour candle close above 41.87, a lower time frame break of 42.38. Can I see your box colors setups? Mine's too dark. Oh, calm down there, buddy. There you go. Damn. Do I trade options? Yes, I do. I damn near abuse them. Yo, bro, need any appointment setters? Appointment setters? What do you mean? I have 2 assistants. Who are ready to execute at any moment. No, if stock has a horrible options but a nice setup, do I still play it? Nope. Nope. I go in your DMs and set calls, bro. Oh no, man, I got all that covered, my friend. Thank you. I have a picture of me with a roll. I have a picture of me with the Rolex. With the Pepsi, but obviously you'll be here to help us, but I want to prep and do it myself with IWM for that bigger move. What is the key thing we need to watch for? You need to look for the 4-hour and maybe 1-hour boxes or triggers that are going to lead you to the edge of that range. All right, I'm going to say that again. You're looking for a lower time frame setup that is going to lead you to the edge of that range, right? And if you can find that, that's typically where you can start to look at an entry. Lulu 187s. This is, it is leaving. I'm not a huge fan of how it ripped today. That would be something that would be very easily reversed upon. So as we move into the end of the day here, 184, 183.40, I would really like to see this ask push up to that 183.50, sorry. Yes, I just picked up some calls. You got to give it to this guy. He is a handsome man. What the fuck? You guys got to chill, bruh. No more compliments. Making me uncomfortable. I'm just kidding. Can I start with any laptop? Yes, you can. Are markets still open? Yes, ma'am, they are. All right. Last request. Not like you're dying, but like you want PayPal for next week. I'm looking at it right now, man, and it's like, I might be overthinking it. But I mean, it fucking looks good. It does look good. it does look good, and especially with this candle closing flat up against the box. The first target, and that's the biggest issue, is hold on, give me a second. So we're gonna reuse the box, right? So we had a box here, and that had a cost basis there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Then we had a box here, and those will be my levels. Now, because you're diving into the great unknown, all right. I mean, the 24-hour candle is not super convincing, and you would just need a gap up on this one. So if you did open up in the same range tomorrow, I would be disappointed. But if you do have a good expiration on this one, I think it's worth giving it a shot. Lulu broke a lower time frame box, but I'm setting a stop loss on this one at 182.73. I don't like the setup, so I didn't enter with full risk. I only put $468 on that one. So I'm not a huge fan of that setup, the way that you took off. And I might be, actually I would be willing at 183.50 candle close to add to this position. All right, let's see here. PLTR. Can I see Starbucks? Yeah, I'll do that one. This has got to be one of the toughest. I mean, you are in range. Okay, so let me make that clear. Today's candle doesn't tell me much of anything other than maybe even more of that, but it did pull itself back up and it did hang on to its floor. So that is actually more bullish than anything. So getting rid of all of this and focusing on just what you have currently in front of you, you're looking at break at 136.40, which, I mean, you know what? There's reason to believe that you could go for, you know what, actually, but fuck that. That actually looks kind of good. Hold on. I'm gonna see if, hold on, shouty. Slow down. Ugh, I can kind of see it. So at minimum 140, and you have a good stop loss. You have a great stop loss. Price target for Lulu, 186.15. Lap taps running. Is IWM gapping up? If news comes out overnight, really strong rip here. Views are bouncing pretty hard, but not closing anywhere important. This is the point. This is fucking, this is it right here on IWM. Empty space target of 186.40 off the break over A, where you're at now, and B, no, fuck that. So yeah, 164.75.
Once 164? Are you
Yeah.
talking about IWM?
Uh-huh. Yeah. What's up, bros?
264.
Yeah, sorry. Starbucks. I did look at PLTR, yeah. Starbucks has got to be the worst. I mean, if you want to take this long, you have to be above 97. Yeah, you have to be above 97.34. And I would be, you know, again, I need a solid stop loss when I'm looking at trades like this one. You do have a great floor here of 94.84, but you've got to get 96.87 here to get going. So those are, listen, you know, and this is, again, I only trade one setup, and that setup is, again, always typically adherent to my strategy. Anything else, you know, but those 24-hour setups, you know, again, if they're confusing or they do not make sense, or the contracts don't make sense, those are all good reasons not to do that. So I mean, I see a pretty obvious retest of $29 here. Yeah, that's what I see by tomorrow. I don't really see any other like golden opportunities until you are above 30.50. Get some sleep. I get plenty of sleep. Plenty of sleep, my guy. SoFi. Same thing. Do you guys see there's so many setups that look exactly like this with their big bounces and then complete meltdowns? And then you get 4 consecutive days just sitting on this floor. So there has to be some resolve. IWM is holding that wall pretty strong right now. If you're looking at tomorrow, yeah, the target on IWM overnight would be 268 if we broke those triggers up above. But first target is that previous high of 266.75. I'm not gonna lie to you, this one actually looks pretty good, and it is adherent to the strategy through and a 4-hour candle close at 1964 for a punchback into the wick at $20.16 and floor at $20.37. You've got multiple bounces off of the floor, but you will have to recover 1941 to get this going. That was a box that you punched through. And then again, upside wick. I don't like that wick. There it is. So yeah, just a couple of triggers away. Or take some damn vitamins, get off the charts gambling. All right, buddy. You head back to your job now, okay? Anyway, we have the floor, and again, that 1943 has to be reclaimed. And then that 50% mark. That's a good setup though, but it just needs to cook. Let's see. ET. Have I ever looked at ET for equity? Nah. Not at the highs. I may have looked at it in the past, but nah. Oh, I've been having people insult my eyes for since I was a kid. I mean, I got sent to the principal's office at the end of middle school in Missouri for appearing to be high, and I had not touched anything at all ever in my life at that point. My friend tried to smoke highlighter paper in the bathroom one time, and I even said no to that. Don't ask. It was Missouri. Nothing made sense out there. All right. I've told people whenever the good Lord was making me and I was laying on the table, he went to go push my eyes in, and as he was setting them in, someone bumped him from behind, and he just a little bit too much pressure in there. But I will tell you what, I have an advantage in the rain that you guys don't. I collect water underneath my eyes for extra moisture, and it blocks out the rain, you know. Confused. Yeah, it's actually cool because in my driver's license, I look just ripped. I mean, they may always make you look worse than you do. So anytime I get pulled over, I've got no issues. I look like that all the time, my guy. All right. What? Anything else? Anything? EA Sports. You know what just popped in my head? Oh my God! Wait, that is not EA. Oh, I was about to say, good God. What the food? That's right, their buyout. That's right. And they have been oscillating inside of this range. Somehow you still are exhibiting signs of control. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Again, with a buyout like this, they're gonna try to protect price as much as possible. But you know, if anything did happen, it would be below 197.91. I never get involved with buyouts unless I caught the rip because it did. After it goes flat like that, I don't touch it. No, I want to look at Sony. I love a good. Oh no, that's not ready yet. Damn, that was a damn. We shorted this one. I shorted this one to cost basis for like a 600-700% trade, I believe. But damn, I could have rolled that fucker out. I really do believe in stocks. As soon as I make money of them, I'm like looking at the next one. No, it's not ready yet. However, it is a great swing trade stock. As long as you can catch it. Right now, I don't know about now. All right, anyway. Do you have widescreen HD like Asians? Oh my god. Why'd you make me read that? Do I trade futures? No, but the homies do. People who use my strategy. Yeah, I've already gone through PayPal. If you're taking a risk on this one, I think it looks good. I think it looks as good as PayPal is going to get. You probably need some time on the contracts. The price is leaving right now as we speak. All right, what the fuck? Dude, every time I get into Lulu, man, that thing starts to act weird. It's all freaky. Like I'm in Lulu lingerie or something like that. What's up? All right. Yeah, I see. I'm watching. I'm watching my own stocks while also I'm simultaneously trying to, well, not trying, but I am. I like it. It's mental stimulation. If you want to gamble, I'll only give you one target on the Qs overnight, and that would be 608. And I have to take that because, again, I am holding shorts overnight that I bought yesterday. And it's a low risk position, but I'm still aware of a potential retest. I tell you what, though, the candle that we get outside of that 606, and that's really where that's the only fucking place I care about. What's happening right now is the third tap up here at 603. So if overnight this doesn't break or move through this structure over, I mean, all of that will be tomorrow's battle, and it will make it even more or create or intensify the tension that we already have. All you have to do is be patient. There is so much money to be made on IWM in the Qs. And if you wait, you can save your money and make more than the people who are losing money and struggling right now and have been for the last 2 days. Or day, or whatever. It's beautiful. All right, we got 3 minutes and 5 seconds. All right. I am not
What do you
signaling
think?
anything right now. You said, oh, the hedges are 606 or 608. Oh, what's up, brother?
What do you think of how open is closing for its earnings call later on today?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ooh, that looks like it's gonna fucking. That does look like it's gonna move. You're going to. How does it move on earnings is more important. Big dingus, decent dingus, no dingus, and no dingus. Nope. Okay. Obviously, volatility has picked up a lot more. So I can place and give you a straddle target of 562. And it does have the appearance of potentially being able to dump as well with it. Oof, that is a juicy, juicy pina colada, baby. Hold on. Almost done here. 390, 350, and if things get hot, 250. Keep tapping almost at 100K. It only says I have 6,700 likes. What the fudge? Why is Lulu's tapping my stop loss right now? Yeah. I appreciate it though. Any other earnings trades for today? Anything else? We got a couple minutes here. in just a few minutes, if you are on here and you took bad trades today and you want to talk about it, I will give you guys the opportunity to ask me any questions if you did struggle, and or if you want to explain why you took a trade today, or maybe if you made it work. IWM went to your target, 264.60. That one has, man, I tell you what, the tension on this one, sheesh, tomorrow, that one looks like it'll gap up. That one looks like it'll gap up to 265.42.
Hey Garrett, on open, the reason why you recommend a straddle is because it didn't reclaim anything.
It's sitting, right? It's got its two off the bottom. It's got a box up in front of it. You're sitting at that floor. You haven't made a definitive direction yet. I mean, we're going to watch it happen right now. If you're over this, you get this. If you break down below that, you get this. If this, then that. I did get stomped out twice on IWM, learned my lesson. What was the lesson? I haven't traded these last 4 days straight for chop. Dripski, fire, dude. Great job. Got to be proud of your. Listen, that's as important as a fucking big gain. I'm telling you, being able to not trade and not know where you're not, the risk is not on. And newer traders don't have enough information yet to circumvent the FOMO that they feel, right? Or step in between it and be like, we're opening up in between the triggers that make us, would send us higher, and the triggers that would essentially send us lower. But yeah, today, if you did get caught, ding, 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 by the way, and we'll, go backtrack on the cues here. Again, right? We are, and were, this is where you're at, right? Draw lines in the sand. Here, and then here, right? Which, again, this is that whole entire range. And if you go to the 4 hour, that is the box, which is cost basis, which, because it's on the 4 hour, it's the most important time frame. That being said, right, in order to break up or break out, you would need to be above 605 on the 4 hour, basically the same exact thing. So if you wanted to go long, which totally would make sense if you were aiming up to here at 610, yes. But everything that's happening right now is happening because there is a move coming, and we're building that tension. But the downside trigger was that $600 mark, psychological. And how much volume do you think we need to pull off of that? A lot. There's probably a lot of volume sitting on that $600 level. So the more we tap it, the more we fake sellers out, and maybe even pop up. If we were to pop up and fill this empty space all the way up here, maybe even tap the 50% mark of that range, right? That would potentially exhaust that $600 level if we did not have, or do not have, the strength to hold on. And that'll be the test, right? That'll be the test. When we, if we arrive here at that floor, if your fingers slip and we start falling back down and losing levels, I think that's it. I think that could be the nail in the coffin. But again, we're not there yet. Made enough money to buy a sandwich today. I think my biggest problem is overpaying for contracts. That is a easily solved problem. For one, I would recommend, checking IWM out as a first recommendation, like as a ETF to trade. But if you utilize the system that I've created, the Potterbox system, and you are actively looking for target-based contracts, so you are finding a target on the chart, and most of the time you're picking that target or a strike around it for the target based contract, and that's what you're taking. And what the beautiful thing about it, right, is when we took Celsius at 45, nobody expected, or nobody, listen, I mean, like, we are just dealing with humans here. Most people, the majority of volume, they're not looking that far out. And again, I believe that's because, yeah, they don't have a system that allows them to do so. But with that being said, right, selecting contracts that are at $50 because that is the first target on the chart. And then for longer expirations, you could have, again, the risk to reward sometimes when you're reaching this far out, sometimes the contracts are at like 50 or 52 will be so cheap that you just buy those. You don't buy the actual target. And if you ever find yourself in that situation where the target is actually illiquid, it has no volume at all, you can risk it, but the spread is likely going to be wide, which could put you at a disadvantage. So it's best to go with where the spread is tighter and the contracts are cheaper if that's the case. I saw IWM this morning, which gave me confidence that it was going to go up. 15 minutes, grabbed the floor and got stomped. I mean, with IWM, the same thing is true. The same thing, the same. Yeah, Nick, and I can answer that question more in depth, going forward. But my stocks did well today, despite NQ ranging all day. Awesome. If you just look at the bid and the ask, Dripsky, that's how you find out the spread. The difference between the bid and the ask is the spread.
There goes Open's running.
Is it? Let's see it. Tell me it just didn't wick right off my target. Say it ain't so. Wait, why? Oh, no, not my target, but the top of that range. Poopy. If you pop that right there, sheesh.
Come on, Daddy needs a brand new Cadillac. I'm joking. Cadillacs are trash.
You see that Trump said it's okay for Asians to stay here, claiming yellow fever? No, I did not see that. That's yet again another. Someone said, "Damn, I drive a caddy."
Sorry.
Open Door had a $1.1 billion loss.
That's fine. I declare bankruptcy. I just watched that episode.
Man, my favorite line in there was, "That's not a hate crime," and he says, "Well, I hated it."
Yeah. Open is a garbage company. Possibly, I don't know. It's so funny, man, because like people honestly they do expect that I know what all these companies like. I'll trade a company and have zero idea of what it does. I'll know what sector it is in, or obviously it's not hard to figure these things out, especially if like semiconductor is in the name. Dude, if you wick off of this, I think you're gonna dump tomorrow. If you do not break this high, I think you reverse and that you're now inside of a fat box.
They missed EPS by 1,000%.
Say what you want, man, but space, bounce, and testing, it feels like gambling. Tell me why, Jerry. I'm seriously, I'm not even being facetious. Please explain why that feels like gambling. Because you don't understand it? Because you don't watch my content? You don't know my strategy? Listen, I'm not here to convince people who already have been convinced or have put themselves through other people's analysis or learning systems and nothing makes sense to them. And so they do, out of resentment, label the stock market as gambling. I don't. I obviously don't. J Diamond Raid. I think I saw 4 viewers come in here, but oh no. No, I'm not, brother. Although this is going to set it up. There's open.
Oh,
Just-
come on. We got to
just-
treat this like Tinkerbell. We need everybody to believe. We need everybody to believe.
I think you're the only person in this, but
I know. I think I might be.
damn. So it's really you got to believe, man. It's on you, baby.
I got puts on it, but that was it. I had calls. I trimmed them. They were at 100%.
Damn. I mean,
I don't get how it's running though.
let me ask those of you guys who have their mics open or talk in this Discord. How many of you, when you first started, were fucking utterly confused? Like
Yeah, I was.
intimidated, couldn't fucking figure, felt like you weren't gonna figure this out. How many of you guys?
Yeah,
You want me to be
that was
honest?
me. That was me. I knew how to buy something and sell something, but where it was going and where it was starting to go, no idea.
If you want to be honest with you, I was not. When I first started, I jumped in, I put $10,000 in, and I thought I knew what I was doing because I was researching companies and playing their earnings. I took that $10,000 and I turned it to $80,000. And then
Gee.
I'll never forget, it was during COVID, like July 6th. Like all of the tech stocks just dropped, and I had a bunch of money in Amazon and Tesla. I lost 70 G's of that
Oh,
Oh
immediately.
my
Like that much.
God.
good God.
Yeah.
That was before me, right?
Way before
Ooh.
you. I didn't
Okay.
know you existed.
Mm.
I didn't even have TikTok at that time. I don't even know if they had it. I didn't have it. And I took that 10 out and I sat my ass down for like 2 years before I
Yeah,
got
for
back.
real.
Took 10, made it, turned it into 37,000, proceeded to lose all 37,000.
Oh man.
I was just doing research. I had no idea how to read charts.
Yeah.
Then I ran into that dickhead Voss, and that was a whole nother thing. But I didn't lose much money doing that, like probably like 5 G's or whatever. And I just started with Potter about I've been with you guys for about I think going on a year, almost a year. And
Mm-hmm.
now I'm starting to be profitable and I understand and I'm learning the charts.
That's what's up.
Man, I was when Doge was doing his thing, one of the guys I worked with put $1,000 in it and it
Mm.
ran up to $30,000. And I said, "Are you gonna sell that or what?" He was like, "No, it's going to $2 or whatever it was."
Oh my
And
God, dude.
he like went to sleep, like he took a day off, bought his family like dinner and everything, and then slept in the next day, and then got out with a $200 profit. Bro
Well,
was sick. He was mad sick.
listen, yeah, I'm over here crying down 3K. Oh, bro. I mean, I still like I hope I mean, yeah, I wouldn't really want anybody to ever feel, maybe some people, but like, I would never want anybody to feel the way that I felt when I lost all that money. And it was like the slow bleed. It's like you felt like you got your fingers on the edge of profitability and then you slipped, but you didn't just fall back a little. You fell all the way back down. And it was like, dude, the feeling of taking like I'll never forget the time that I took $18. I had a Webull account. I had Robin Hood and Webull and Thinkorswim. I was all over the place. But I had money in the Webull account and I took $18 to 9,800. And I was like, dude, like I got like, bro, I could live off of that, right? I could literally I could live like this. I could take a small amount and if I can, and I wanted to prove that to myself, but every single time I got there, and I don't know, again, it just something possessed my mind where it was like I thought day trading was like the way. You know what I mean? I still, I guess, was under the influence of what I had seen online, um, and that's where everything was gone. And watching that happen when yeah, I hadn't used that money to do anything. I was like, I'm trying to make it all the way. I had already made it. I had already made the money and all I needed to do was pull it out. And after 80, I mean, to have like to take a small amount, take it to almost 10K or to 10K and then lose it. And then okay, well you gotta think about it like that's a week long depression at least, and you got to get yourself back up on your feet and mentally try and all right, let's do this again. And then I do that, basically 7 8 times in a row. I mean, there was accounts that I put a little in and then I just blew them, but it was those accounts that like I did put, or did make it to 10K. It was like me shifting the strategy. And then yes, it was also like the fact that I had never had that amount of money at one time in my life, and I was like didn't really know how to handle it. Yeah. So like there was a lot of mental and emotional just I mean fuckery that happened during this whole process. That I mean That's part of the reason that, like, you know, I do put so much emphasis on some of the lessons that I pass on to newer traders. It's like it's so tempting. It's so tempting to be around day traders, to be around scalpers, to watch people make, you know, 8 or 900 bucks, you know, and I obviously don't think that about people who use a incredibly high amount of risk to achieve that. Um, Thank you. I don't really like, you know, I don't want to spend $1,000 to make 100. That's stupid. That is stupid to me. Um, but you know, when I tell people like, yo, when you are starting off, you are only aiming for the ones that are going to give you the biggest return. It's not greed, it's strategy. It's strategy and knowing that, yeah, if I see a setup like, you know, what was it, Dow a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, a setup like this, right? And look how it behaves after it hits the box and fails. It just goes into a static array. It's nothing is happening. But you look at what's happening over here to your left, or the box on the 24-hour, you know, this is what a small account would look for, you know. And if it was a setup where you wanted to take it outside of this box, you would add time per resistance. This I would probably be at least 3 weeks out from here to here. Um, but you're aiming for those bigger ones. You're looking at like, yeah, Celsius, you know, or you're looking at like Tesla, when it does chop up a lot. And now this is not the time, but we have had times like here, right, where it chop up at the highs, and this pocket of empty space is where those, listen, people have this misconception that Tesla's always expensive. It's not. Small accounts can actually change the game. Like you can fucking make a bag. But what you have to remember, this Tesla is all clouds. When you really get into it, it's just fucking water vapor. There's really nothing in there. It's a the coming and going of volume that's attracted by the, oh man, I almost said a bad word, by the uh dumb guy that runs the company. But no, you know, he brings and has brought a level of volatility to that stock that has hardly been seen ever before. You know, even Apple really didn't. It needed a split, but it could just be a simple fucking tweet from him. And so that is where the contracts will dry the fuck up to like $25 for 4 steps out of the money. And that's when, I mean, if you can grab a long, that's where, like, strategically, if you know a break is coming, you know, you could straddle it with a target based contracts on both sides and probably still come out with a fat W. Obviously, I'm not recommending that, but
Oh, the other thing,
uh-huh.
the other thing I want to say is, my fear during that time was because I thought I knew what I was doing. It's funny because my kind of fear a little bit of getting into trades and taking trades came after I started knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough. And it's because like you know where it's going, but you also know where you can't lose. And sometimes you're like, oh, I know it should go here. But you got to understand, like, you got to have those stop losses, which is very important. Like, you got to, when you have your stop loss, you got to abide by it. Like, you need to get out. You can't stay in. You can't hold. You can't sit there hoping that it's going to reverse. Abide by it, get out, get back in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that is something, and everybody is different. I mean, you guys got to think, I've been doing this for years, and I have people who come in and they are fucking competitive as all get out. They want to be the best. And that's great. But they also equally do not like to lose. Look at that open door target. Wild.
Brother.
Isn't that
Hey, you know
wild?
what tomorrow's gonna be? That's amazing, man. So tomorrow, before I go, I'm sorry. I know you guys had
No,
like a
you're
train
good.
of thought going, but before I go, I look what I got marked out as the cost basis above that is like 567, and then $6 for that final target. I mean, I picked up 550s for 9 days out.
Five
So
570 is a solid target directly up above you if you can clear this level for sure. I
excellent.
am
All right.
at the gym watching you in the shower. Okay.
Oh Lord,
Oh my God.
brother. All right, guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm
Yeah.
outie.
All right. Oh Lord have mercy. I want you guys to just pay attention. Anybody in here is new. I want you guys to pay attention to what he just said, right? He said that the fear of that he developed going forward came from his own actions, from what he did. And that's what I said earlier about what you do in the beginning is so important. And it is important to tread lightly, and it is important to take your time and be patient. But what are we dealing with here? Money. What does everybody need? Money. So it's hard to tell somebody to slow down when they're sitting at the edge of a infinite money machine, right? It doesn't make sense to them, or impulsivity is a major issue. And that's like where that's where you get to see somebody like for not for who they are, but some of their negative characteristics is or counterproductive characteristics where you are freaking out and putting yourself in situations where you don't know anything. So how are you supposed to manage anything? You're just going to be responding to the candles. And guess what? That first time that you do it and it works, or you get out and you made money, you're nailing that fucking neural pathway down, and it is going to be really, really tough to unravel that. And so if you're new, you are in a golden pocket. You are in the best place you could possibly be, and that's where you have done nothing. And what you do with no money will have everything to do with what you do when you have that money or you're actually using it. But go ahead and traumatize yourself and just know that, yeah, if you do that, that's on you, right? That's something now that you are creating you're putting obstacles in front of you for the future. I'm in the gym looking at two guys in the shower. Okay, let's get this guy. What the fuck's going on here? That's crazy. Yeah, really solid message, and then finish it up with that. But anyway, you guys, even if you have traumatized yourself, right? That is where you got to take a break. You got to like disassociate and let some dust cover those old neurological pathways and try to make new ones when you come back. Make rules, listen, when I said to myself, and again, I was in the shower actually, but this was after the whole $80,000 was gone. I had like negative $2 in Robinhood. I had like $10 left in Webull. Like shit was not good. I think I had like $100 in two other brokerages. Like, I was in a bad place, and it took me a couple of months of going back to regular life, right? And I'm not saying that you had to do this, but I mean, I had just spent months of painstaking just to lose it all. But taking that break, gaining and looking at what I had done from a bird's eye perspective and saying, yo, I just made $80,000 and I didn't hardly put anything into it. So what does that say, right? And what was the variable that made me lose it? Why did I lose that money? Because I decided to day trade. Okay, well, let's fucking try this again. And let's not day trade. We're not doing that. It's a rule that I'm abiding by. And a lot of people have to burn their hands to fucking be like, I'm not touching that anymore. And that's, unfortunate. But if you do take the time to be patient when you're first starting out, you take 2 months, a month to just watch. Sit in the corner of the room in a chair and just, I'm sorry, but just watch. And pay attention and be patient and know that if you do nail a strategy down, you're going to think about this too. When most people start, within a couple of months or even 6 months, they've gone and made their journey that much longer because they've been operating strategyless. That's not a word, I don't think. But they don't have anything to fall back on. So when they finally do take it seriously, they're bringing all that baggage in with them, and their journey is now extended. So if anything, you're actually cutting off so much. You don't have to learn every lesson in life the hard way. You can live vicariously through other people. You can listen to those people who have gotten whacked, who've lost all this money, and you can be like, okay, well, what happened with them? You got to be smart. You know, and I know that's just a phrase, but it's like you do have to have um a lack of you need to, before you take that first step forward, you need to look around, be aware. But and again, even if you have beaten yourself up, take a second, breathe. You know, I know it's tough to do right now because we're looking at the market getting hot and heavy, but it's like you got to take the time to step back and decide what's right and what's wrong for you. And those rules are what changed my life. Changed it. Super serious. I mean, I hit Kodak a couple of months after making this decision, and it felt like, yo, okay, hold on, I got the wind in my sails. And I went through ups and downs, right? In the future, I got too full of myself, got too cocky, learned lessons there, but like, yeah, that's what's set me up for a baseline, uh, or you know, the structure that I needed to operate in to be profitable, which meant that I couldn't be always day trading. That I didn't like today. Today, me not trading is all of that cumulative pain and awareness of like, okay, well, why did I get caught today? Why didn't it move? Okay, every time I go look back and we're stuck in between two ranges, we don't move. I need to trust that. And if I'm wrong when I do trust that, then I'll find out and I'll make an adjustment. But you can only do with the information that's in front of you. So, yeah. I know that dude who has 300K in open door is really happy. I'm sure he is. Yeah. He has two targets tomorrow. Yeah, two targets, 555 and 570. If you can reclaim those, I say here. But man, if this shit loses, if it doesn't reclaim that floor, you might be in trouble. How did I manage to recover that, all that money? I didn't look at it that way. Oh my God, Ivy. I didn't look at it that way, right? As far as I was concerned, it never happened. And it's one of the things that I told myself is like, I'm just moving forward from here, a different trader, right? I'm doing something, I'm completely different. So I didn't really think about recovering that 80K. Now, how long did it take for me to do that? It was only 5 months. I recovered all of that 80K. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I recovered over 50,000 of it in one trade in basically 7 minutes. I got lucky. I'm not going to say I got lucky. I mean, I did put myself in the right position and I had the right knowledge to be in the position that I was in. But yeah, Kodak. That was Kodak. Yeah. This dude says things over and over again, and sometimes we should probably listen. I wish that everybody would I mean it's like having, I'm not saying that people are like kids. I mean, I'm probably like a kid to somebody else, but it's like there's some lessons. I mean, I'm probably a kid to my wife when she tells me to stop doing the same thing over and over again. Because it's gonna, you know, stop leaving your window unlocked at night, like, yeah, probably should listen to her on that one. But um yeah, I do have a YouTube. Would you consider putting your face on YouTube? It keeps me engaged. Oh, I gotta buy another camera. I just haven't made my way to the store to get one. So yeah, um, yeah, YouTube channel is Potter Sox Trading. So, but I mean, there's so many things that people could avoid, and I think just one lesson is take your time. Take your time in the beginning and give yourself the grace and time to get an understanding of what's going on. I don't care. Yeah, if you use $100 or $50, after 2 months to start testing shit out, cool. But I'm sure, yeah, Nick, if you've been here for a while, you probably This week was tough to trade. I mean, I that's the thing is I didn't really do much of anything. This week has been, and we did take the Qs long up into the empty space and then back down. But other than that, this is very true. My best swings are the ones I've picked myself, but day trading is fun. Day trading is fun if you can keep it separate, right? If you can have an account for day trading and you've been doing this for a while, cool. But yeah, that is actually some of the biggest wins I still have to date are from swing trade. My 40,000% trade that I had on ANF, that was a swing trade. So I'm better than TJR. I would guarantee that every single one of you on here is better than TJR. Again, I don't want to find out from a rich kid on how to change my life. No offense. It's tough for me to trade individual equities because of my job and I have to submit my trades for approval. Oof, what? Having to, oh, you have to trade my, no shit. I didn't know that, Nemo. Interesting. That Sky Guy, it was like $750. Robbie, for Elf, if Elf works out in our favor, then it would be a move all the way to 122.55 for me. I just wanted a quick flex. Oh no, please. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't feel like that guy is smarter than you. I'm sorry. I really don't think that yeah, you should not feel like TJR is smarter than you. Or most of these people on here, you know. They're just humans too. Oh, Carlos, did you comment in there? Yeah, don't be scared. Yeah, KSS was fucking phenomenal, but that was obviously more recently, so. All right, let's take a look at these requests and then we'll go ahead and call it a day. My friend, do I ever swing on the weekends? Yeah, for sure. Sometimes. Again, setup is good. So Irene does look like it is definitely going to be getting a move here soon. You have a target down below if a rejection occurs down at 37.88. Very clear, very straightforward. And again, you have a box. This is where trading is, or taking a trade is, you know, again, lower time frames. It might make it a little bit disagreeable, but it does look like. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. So a break outside of 43.85 would give you a first target of 45.41. Now, if that breaks and you get over the 46.82 level, I guess you'd be looking at the $50 strike. When shorting, is it opposite true for the first green candle? Should we look for the first red candle to our left? You're looking for the top of a box. Yes, it more than likely at the top of a box, you're going to find a red candle. So yes, so just using the example that I have in front of me, right? So if I decided that I wanted to short Iran, not Iran, right? It would be that first, now that's a terrible short. I hope that you get the 50% mark, but then you get smoked. But it would be, yes, the top of the box, which typically does have red candles, yes.
No one watching Trump speech.
Is that happening right now?
I thought it said 4 o'clock.
I don't like listening to him talk, if I'm being honest with you. I just wait for the headlines.
There's big things happening.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm the best, and I haven't seen my penis in years. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. Sometimes I dance on a mirror just to see it again. I look into its eye, and I say, I miss you. All right, we're done. TikTok ban coming in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. We're gonna get. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Be careful if you're near your kids. You might have to cover their ears every once in a while. I try and keep it kosher, but Mr. Trump's really sorry. Sometimes. Yeah, no. All right, folks. Let's see what else we got. I would Mar 1 hour for an example. Marriott International. Is that really the? Oh my God. Marriott is definitely known to lose its highs in a very, very quick fashion. It sells off pretty quick, and especially as of lately. Um, so where would the first target be? I mean, yes, it would be the structure there, and the first green slash red candle there at 333.60. Box floor target 50% would be 340. Yeah, 340 would be the first target. So, oh my God, it's just get out of here, dude. Yeah, the little dance, the Trump dance. I haven't gotten into trading yet. Are you saying that swing trading is the way to go, not day trading? So let me give you the facts, okay? The facts are that 80 to 90% of major market movement or market movement in general is in after hours. So that alone, yes. I have the biggest leaps forward that I have had. And right now, if you're like, well, dude, the last, month on IWM, we have, hasn't been a lot of swing, a lot of date. So in range, when you're stuck in the box, you're gonna see price action intraday. And it's like literally struggling to break up and out. And those can be difficult to swing into. But when higher time frame ranges break, which swing trading is, can be long. If you're watching one individual stock, can be long period of waiting. Again, that's why we move with the money, or we move once we hit a stock, we leave it. Um, but uh, but yeah, you have $6 for open. What is my selling trigger? Okay, so here's a couple things that need to happen right now. That the first green candle to your left, which you just hit, that it was target one, right? So target two would be the 571. Now, what needs to happen is you have to open or above that 525 in order for us to keep going up. And my concern here is that if you are wicking at the first green candle and tomorrow you pull back, you're looking at a 24-hour box. And this would be the second at the top. And we could be looking down. But hot dog. Epic Verse, can you tell me what app or site to use to trade and make profit? Uh, that would be TradeStation. Sorry, TradeStation is the brokerage. Trading View is where I watch the charts. Do I think we can hit 3250 on MOS? I would say it's too soon for me to say that yet, but what'd you say? 3250? The empty space. Okay. I mean, yeah, that is perfectly possible, but yeah, actually, you get a nice retest back underneath you. I typically look over to my left to try to spot like where those overhead resistances are. 3075 is basically going to be in a balance. But more importantly, you can see that on the hourly pretty clearly, right? So making it past that would leave you with a very thin overhead to punch through. There's also in your favor a downtrend that looks like it might be getting broken. So, do I place my trades on my phone or my PC? Mostly my PC, but occasionally I buy on my phone. Yeah. I am worried and excited at the same time. I mean, I like boxes. Got a good box here at the bottom here. Oh my God. That's the Defiance Daily Target 2x Long Hems ETF. Wow, that has not has that tracked it for real? Because I think that one's one of those ones that loses its fucking leverage. No, it is dreadfully low, just not at its all-time lows. Damn. Yeah, actually, Hims looks like it might look like it dumps here with that big fat wick up there to 1687 or past to 1687, 1750. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So, watched you on TikTok, but not gonna lie, I miss seeing your face on YouTube. Is there a way you consider it? Oh, yeah. I am having success at 24-hour. If I day trade, I have more success power hour. Good. Yeah, as long as you're aware. Where's a good place to learn starting off trading? My YouTube channel, Potter Sucks Trading. On YouTube, go to the educational playlists. Start watch it all the way from the top to the bottom and write all your questions down and bring them to the live stream. Is this day trading or stocks? I am swing and day trading and investing in stocks using my strategy, which I created, which is the Potterbox strategy, which I am. There's only one other person on this app who uses my strategy publicly, and that is the Put Brothers. I watched this guy eat a fly last summer. No, you did not. What are you talking about? That's gross. Oh my God. Yo, this looks insane. Yo, if this thing on the weekly does not recover, that could be a crazy short. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have that channel there, and again, and maybe it's lower, but yeah. So if you look at the upside, it's not a great setup. But 94.50 would be where this goes back up, and then 83.50 would be where it breaks down. 73 would be the first target. He looks similar to Bonka. Bonka, dude, he blocked me so fast. I have DMs from Bonka where he got caught paper trading, and he was like kind of like low key begging me to like, I don't remember what he was saying. He changed his name on Discord to Mr. Poop Man. That makes sense. Yeah, he blocked me. Most of them do. And then they say, Potter is toxic to the trading community. All right. What do you mean when you refer to something as a short? I'm taking it to the downside, Commonwealth. Can you explain a little bit about swing trading? Yeah, I'm buying a position overnight. Looking at, I'll give you, example of a swing trade that we took. I just went over this one. But I look for areas of consolidation. Typically 3 rejections at the top is or 3 taps at the top. At that third break is where we typically break. And if there is no resistance up above you, that means that price has nothing to really fight against. And if buyers are present, price typically moves through the entirety of that empty space. And this is something that every setup that I want or I take typically has a couple of features that are identical, and it's always going to look like this. I am trying to always trade the path of least resistance always. Even the meta trade that I took a while back, right? Going into earnings on the lower time frame, same concept. And this is where, yeah, this was a swing trade, but same concept. Taking it out of this box, taking it up to the structure in front of me. And then this one ended up moving so strongly overnight. I mean, I had contracts that were like 68 bucks that ended up selling for somewhere around 800. So I catch bigger moves than day traders do and scalpers. I catch bigger moves and I do it with less risk and I make more. Period. End of story. I use less money, I make more, and I catch bigger moves. And it's all by being patient and waiting for what I have. The only anomaly that I've ever spotted in the stock market. So why would I be doing anything else? So, all right. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. L Potter. What's up, Camila? Yes, I'm betting on the stock going down. Yeah. But anyway, class is March 1st. For those of you guys who've been watching me for a while, you can sign up if you on the website. That's about it. March 1st, 5:30 p.m. And it's going to be, it's probably going to take a couple of, probably going to take like 4 or 5 days at minimum. So, all right. Peace out.
Bye bye.